All right, we have a couple of new operating awards. And the purpose of those awards is to encourage SDXA members to give contest operation a try. Contesting can be intimidating, but if you just take it in little pieces, it's not near so intimidating, and it's fun. Another one is to encourage SDXA members to play in a contest with a goal other than getting a high score. Getting a high score, you got to put in lots of time, but the big advantage, at least I think, of a contest is there's lots of people on, so you have lots of opportunities to make contacts. So the first one is to work 10 JA Japanese districts. I'll give the details on that one. The other one, perhaps a little bit harder, and it'll go by the name of 5x6. And I will explain that one as well. So 10 Japanese districts, 10 JA districts. So the objective there is to work all 10 JA districts in a contest. Their country is divided the same way ours is into 10 districts. So that's the number after the JA or the JH or whatever their prefix is. And we want to do it in the 7 remaining. Well, we want to do it from the first of the year, January 1, until the end of the contest year, which is the end of August. So there are 7 PNWDX competitions left. 2 of them are sideband, 2 of them are CW, 2 of them are RITI, and 1 of them is a mixed, a sideband and a CW one. So that's for the sideband. That's for the sideband and the CW and the RITI folks. We haven't left out those of you who like FT4 and FT8. So we'll have 2 digi contests for those. And unfortunately, somewhat anyway, they come up a lot later in the year. First one's the ARL International Digital Contest. That's June 3rd and 4th of next year, 2023. And the Worldwide DigiDX Contest at the end of August, on August 26th and 27th of next year. We didn't want to start this until the first of the year, so we missed the one that will be in December. But 7 contests for sideband, CW, and RITI, and 2 contests for FT8 and FT4 folks. So what are the modes that you can use? Any of them: sideband, CW, RITI, FT8, FT4, or any combination of those. You get 2 of the districts in sideband, 3 of them in RITI, and the other 5 in let's say FT8. But they have to be in one of the contests. You can't do it outside of the contest. Got to be in those contests. Got 2 different categories for this. For the non-million point club members, you can do any of the 9 contests, the 7 conventional ones and the other 2 FTX contests. So any combination of those. The million point club members, and we'll find out who those people are later tonight. You have to do that in a single contest. Has to be in just one of the contests. You can't do it across all of them. So 2 different categories. So we'll give out some awards for accomplishing the 10 JA districts. For the non-million point club members, a special coffee cup, something with recognition of what you did on it. I haven't completely decided on what that'll look like, but a nice coffee cup, something physical. For the million point club members, you get a certificate for working all 10 JA districts. Why did we choose this? Well, JAs are easy pickings for us. If you lived on the East Coast, Europe would be easy pickings. But for us, closer to the West Coast and on the West Coast, JAs are easy pickings. I was not sure how easy this would be to do. So I didn't make any special effort, but in the CQ Worldwide CW, I paid attention. I operated 100 watts with a beam at 60 feet, and I was assisted. And I worked all 10 of them once, and then I started over and I worked all 10 of them again. The first time I worked the 10 districts, that took from the start of the contest, which was at 4 until about 2:30 when the start of the contest at 4 p.m. our time until Saturday morning at about 2:30. Then the second time around, I worked them in an hour. I worked all 10 of them in an hour, and all of them were spotted, and all of them were reasonably loud. I didn't have to dig anybody out. That was difficult. So in CW, you can accomplish it, particularly if you use the spotting network. JWA0WWW, he did it. He got all of them once and almost the second time around. And for both of us, Jay almost made it the second time around, but not quite. Mel didn't quite make it. That's correct in the sideband, CQ Worldwide sideband. You didn't get all 10 districts. Is that correct, Mel?
I think I only got 9.
Yeah. But Mel goes after the multipliers in that. So if you're doing that, then you would work one JA and then you would work on more of them. So CW accomplish easy to accomplish if you stay at it. Sideband, you got to work a little bit harder. And just what Jay and I noticed is that the 5s and the 9s were the last ones. Lots of 1s, lots of 2s. I thought 0s would be a little bit difficult, but they weren't. But 5s and 9s, so when you watch for those are the ones you need to pay attention to. And there's a map of Japan with the districts. 5 is down here on an island all by itself, and 9 is over here. And I suppose they're hard to get because not so many Japanese live there. So that's the 10 J ones. Work all 10 of the districts in any combination. If you're a non-million points club member, any combination of the 4 modes. If you're a member of the Million Point Club, got to do it in a single contest. The next one, catchy name that I've decided on was 5x6. Well, what does that mean? You got to work 5 DXCC entities in each of the 6 continents. So that's 30 QSOs. And you got to do it again in a contest. And the continents are North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and the Pacific Ocean or Oceania. So the 7 remaining PNWDX contests, the first one is the RIDI Roundup. And again, like before, there are 2 sideband ones, 2 CW ones, 2 RIDI ones, and 1 mixed one. The modes in them, sideband, CW, RIDI, or any combination. You didn't have to be in a single contest for everybody. And the award for this one is an engraved plaque, because I think this one could be a real challenge. How difficult is it? Well, North America is easy. USA, Canada, Alaska, Cuba, any of the Caribbean islands, and you got those. One thing to keep in mind, PJ2T, which is always easy for us to work, is not in North America, it's in South America. Europe, provided it opens up, easy. Lots of countries there, so not very difficult to work 5 different DXCC entities in Europe. South America, always Argentina, always Brazil, PJ2T, and then the other 2 maybe a little more difficult. Ecuador's off and on, so not as easy as North America, but not very difficult to do. Ones that I think will be a little bit more difficult: Asia, Japan, easy. South Korea, easy. China, you hear them a lot, but until the last contest, my opinion was they are loud, but they don't hear all that well. However, I managed to work almost 20 of them in the latest CW contest. And the other easy one is European Asia. Asian Russia, UA9s, UA0s. And you might think that Indonesia is easy and it isn't that difficult, but it's not in Asia, it's in Oceania. Africa, the Morocco or the Morocco and the CR6. Help me out, Bob. Anyway, those
It's
are relatively
Portugal.
Yeah, but it's one of the islands.
Yeah, it's the Madeira.
Madeira, yeah.
Yeah.
And then I picked up a bunch of South Africans. Sometimes they're easy, sometimes they're not. Not as big a window on those as the ones just off the northern part of Africa. So Africa's a little more tough. And Oceania, you got Australia, New Zealand, those are pretty easy. And then Hawaii, of course. So you can, then a couple other small islands. So those would be a little more difficult to work. How did I do in the CW, the latest CW contest? Well, I managed to get them all. Doesn't count because it's not for the first of the year. So it's a doable thing. You got to work at it. You got to be on a lot. Jay also worked all five of them on the 6 continents for 30 of them, again, in a single contest or in a contest. And Mel didn't. He said he came up short on Africa, had all of them, but 5 in Africa. You didn't get South Africa, correct, Mel?
Yeah, I didn't.
That would be one that would be fairly common. And then those islands off of the coast. And ZD9 is also an easy one to get in Africa. That's the 2 new awards that we have. Work all 10 JA districts and work 5 DXCC entities in each of the 6 continents. And you got to do it in a contest. And if you're in the million points, when the bar's a little higher for you guys.